Hi everybody, it's Julie and I am here with my Better Late Than Never November design team project for Lindsey Zanor for her Nevermore Creation 17, and I have used her lavender and lace digital kit, and I have made a journal that has over 130 pages, closer probably to 140 or 150, if you count the small ones. And I have featured, there's dried lavender in the book, in the journal. I have used a vintage guest book. I altered the spine, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I have put this beautiful little tassel-y looking thing here as part of the cover. I did leave this everything that I tried to put over this, it really detracted from the beauty of this journal, or book, or memory keeping book. So that is the back. It has about a 2.5-inch spine. It has 3 signatures. The pages are 7 by 8.5. The majority of the papers are 7 by 8.5. So it was a challenge to fill it and have the papers fit. There is a video on how I did that, and that'll be in the description box down below. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look. And I've used some vintage seam binding here on the edge. I am also including this bunch of lavender, and you could press it in here. And it just smells amazing. It's just from doing that, it smells amazing. Okay, so let's lean this like this. It's bigger than my my desk. So here we go. I was able to salvage some of the pages from inside. The rest of them I used in a guest book for my brother's funeral. So, because it really, excuse me, it actually was a guest book. Okay, so I've added a pocket here. You have the big pocket, a little pocket, and a smaller pocket. So there you go. And our first signature has the original inside piece from, and I was able to use the inside pages from the guest book as well. So I have done a collage here, added some stamping, coffee dyed this note paper. This is a little note paper that I've put in, so you have this. I've done stenciling throughout. I've done stitching with my sew machine. So this one has stenciling, stamping, and sewing. We have various pages. So this little page here, I've attached it to another page. This was 24 by 11 or 11 by 24. Or 12, excuse me, 12 by 24 Cricut paper. But not by Cricut, but so that you could use it in your Cricut. Here, I've added this large pocket, and we have this little book. And so here, well, this came from Lindsey's digital kit right there. It's part of the ephemera. This was a large kit, and I printed it out, and I'll put that description below of the kit. I show you the kit and how I was going to use it, because I took all the full-size pages and printed them as wallets, and that's how I was able to make this little card here. Okay. Up here I've added a little butterfly charm, and here I've sewn on one of the flinch cards from the Dear Julie flinch card digital kit. The numbers go up to 31. Regularly, flinch cards go to 15. So here, this is another one of the wallet size that I cut down and then I cut it in half because this was 2 pages. And so when the wallet came out like this, I just cut the 2 pages. This is one of the pages from her kit. It's one of my favorite pages. It has the lines drawn on it. And then I've stamped on it here and added the sentiment here and some lace. And I stitched that on. So here I folded up the page because remember this was only 7 inches. So when I had an 8.5 inch paper, I had some wiggle room, and then I added a band here to make the pocket thicker. We have a collaged tag here, and it's just made out of the ledger paper after I cut it down. I have some coffee dyed paper that I folded up and I stamped, and it has a recipe file folder and a project life card. Here we have a purple doily, or it's a doily that I distressed purple, ran around it with my sewing machine, and then added the butterfly. I've got stenciling on this page as well. This one opens up, gives you plenty of journaling space and some more stenciling there. Here's the large ledger paper. So it was big enough that I was able to fold it in half, and both pages are full size. I did have to cut off the bottom, and that's what gave me that right there. And it is vintage. Here is another one of the pages from Lindsey's kit, and I just folded it in half, so we'll find the other half on the other side of the signature. Added a paper ribbon here. Actually, it's not paper ribbon, it's a ribbon, a ribbon edging. And this ribbon was from a wedding that I did. It was a leftover wedding. So this was an envelope that Lindsey had in her kit. I cut it out. I added this decoration to it, and this here with the little tulips, and I just left it, and the recipient can go ahead and write in it or turn it actually into an envelope. We also have some note paper here. Here's the first of the specimen bookmarks. So this is an actual piece of lavender that I have put onto the cardstock with packing tape. Excuse me, with packing tape, and then sewed it on. Then I collaged on it, and here is a little paper clip holding it on, and the paper clips and the bookmarks are both from 12 Days of Christmas videos I did this week, so I'll put the links to those down below as well. Here we've got this, the two, just a project life card and a note card. I used one of the large doilies that was gifted to me. I think it was from Yin Ya. And I folded it in half and then put it onto the page, and it will hold large items. I also stamped here and sewed across the bottom. Here I had an 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper, and I just went ahead and I distressed a little bit on it, added this and sewed. Got stamping, and I have a little page tab out of the material scrap from making the binding. And then this is one of Lindsey's pages, and it is connected to a coffee dyed paper that then I distressed on a doily. So that gave me the longer paper. You see, this is glued right here. We have some lace here, and I distressed the edge to give us the lavender look. We got stenciling. Here we have a little paper clip. It's holding these down, and this, and on the other side of the paper clip is the cute little coffee paper clip. Here's the other side of the doily. We have a paint chip that's been decorated to be a tag, and this little booklet, and then through the holes, this was for a clipboard, and I just put the ribbon through the holes. We have some note cards in here. This is an 8, not quite 8.5 by 11, but a piece of piece of scrapbook paper that I had in my stash, and so I added that there. And you can see the other side of it, it's attached to some coffee dyed paper. Here we have some items, and this was the 11 by 17 paper pad that I had, and I just flipped it up, made this large pocket, and it's holding some note papers, and we have one of the ticket paper clips here, and that is also in the paperclip video. In the paperclip video. So that's today's, today is the 6th. When this video goes up, it'll be the 6th. So it is the 12 days of Christmas. Day 6 is altered paper clips. So all these paper clips you're going to find in that tutorial. So here we have a belly band. This is part of Lindsey's kit. So, and this is part of a note paper, and I just cut it or ripped it and then sewed it on, and then sewed that there. There's the other side of her paper from her kit, the other side of the ledger paper, the other side of the little paper. And here, there's 4 of these, and they're one of the pages of her digital kit. And I printed them on cardstock, so that knowing that I would want them to be a journaling card. And this is some coffee dyed paper, and it's the creative folding where I've folded it up and gave us a pocket. This was out of one of my gardening magazines, and I liked it because it had the purple flowers. And you can see we've added this really fun lace here to this edge, and it just drapes over the side. I added a flower, and this was like a dogwood, and I added this lace, and when I got it done, it kind of looked like an orchid. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of does. So I stitched that lace on there, and it just kind of goes all around. This is another one of the pages from Lindsey's kit, and you can see I've attached the ledger one to this one, and I've collaged this. Oh yeah, this is the page that over here on this part of the page, it says treasured moments, and so I made my own page, and then I put this on the back. So this is the other side of the scrapbook paper, the large scrapbook paper, and I've added this here. So I added a little tuck space here, and while I was adding it, I added one of the bands from cutting the papers down. Here we have a vintage playing card and a note paper. Okay. So here you have a little note, and it was purple match, so I added it to it. We have some lined paper, the doily, another stamped page with just some decoration using the sewing machine, a lightly stamped image, and then this is putting the stencil down. I used a stencil through this book. So I had gotten this stencil from Pink Oddbird when I won her challenge over the summer, and so I just would put this down. I would take the distressing circle and put it on the stamp pad and put it down, and this is what I got, is that image. So there's that. Here's our guest book page that says guests. So I mean, it could be a list page. You really could put guests on there. Now we have the second signature, and we have, this is one of Lindsey's papers, and I have it folded over and brought to here. This is another one of Lindsey's papers, and remember that I only needed 8.5 this way, and her papers are side by side, so they're 8.5 by 11. They come out landscape like this. So this is 8.5, or the 11 side of her paper, and I was like, oh, I want that to be on a side all by itself. And you could journal right on top of this. You can journal on all of these pages. We have a pocket here that you could add something to. Here's some small ledger paper. Added this to, it kind of looks like a stamp, a really large stamp. Some vintage lace, and these are, this is Lindsey's kit. I took 2 of the pages and told it to print at 5 by 7, and I printed it on cardstock, and so this is what I came up with. And then I circled around it. So you got 2 5 by 7 side by side, and I just cut them out and used them throughout the book. So, and then this is another one of the wallets, and those I got by taking the large images and telling it to print them all at wallet size. And I had a page of 8 or 9 wallets. So this is one of the bookmarks that I made in the video. This is just a really beautiful envelope, and I was like, oh, I'll just add that in, and there's nothing in it right now, so you could add something to it. You can add something here and here. So this was, I took an 8.5 by 11 paper, I folded the 8.5 up and ended up with an 8.5 by 8.5 square, and I folded that in half and put it on here, and then folded it in half. So this took away, because it was just a big white piece of paper, and it makes a great pocket as well. There's that. Here we have an envelope ready for a picture or something, and it's out of the noisy paper. We have this transparent bookmark and some of the paint chip. This is another one of the pages from Lindsey's kit. I love it. It's got I call them lavender kernels, a bed of lavender kernels, and the doily sitting on top. Here we have the other side of the stencil round page with some stamping. This was the large envelope that I had, and what I did was I took the envelope, I sealed it, I cut it basically in half, and then I taped the 2 of them together. This technique is in the fixing the pages video that's in the description box. And then I added this little, it has the lace, some of the ribbon, sheer ribbon, and then this was a piece that I had cut off of one of the note papers, and I just stitched it on there. Added the butterfly sticker, and here we have another one of the 5 by 7 that I printed on cardstock. I sewed some stitching to be lines to write, and added Were I a Violet. This is from the purple kit, Dear Julie Julie purple digital kit. You get music called Were I a Violet, and here it was printed at what is that called? A contact sheet. Oh, you know what? While we have this open, I didn't get a chance to cut the hole, so you know that that's a pocket. Okay, there we go. So that's a pocket, and I only cut one side because otherwise it keeps getting caught on it when I go to put it in. With one hole, it'll catch behind it and go in like I want it to. Okay, so this is ledger paper with the paper edge, sewn on. It's a different ledger paper. This one's brighter. Still vintage. Have a coffee paper that, coffee dyed paper that folds over, and it has the lace attached to this side. And then I was looking at this, I had strips of stuff over here, and I was like, oh, well, what if I took them and made like they do those bulletin boards with the ribbon. Of course, they do it like this. But I was like, I can just do stripes, and then I can just put some things in there. So we have the distressed guest check and this little note card in there. This is a bookmark, and it's tapped into the eyelet at the top, and it has these beautiful beads, and I just had it here because that was a good place for it. Love the colors in here. We've got some light stamping there, so I was, you know, using the first impression and then the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth throughout. There's the other side of the little page. So there's one of these in each of the signatures. This is part of the clipboard paper. This is wallpaper from a sample book. And it just lightly had some lavender to it, so I thought, well, I can add that in here. We've got another one of the note cards from the ephemera page, and just some purple note paper. And I love, Lindsey used all the different colors of lavender and all the way up to pink in her kit, so I mimicked that and did it in here also. Here I've stenciled on the corners. Again, using that stencil that I had won. And I added, this is some tulle that I got from one of the weddings. Actually, was it? Yeah, from one of the weddings that I did this summer. Here's some of that really awesome gold bling sequin ribbon. And with some of the, one of the trims there. And this was the packaging for this washi tape. So I just cut it because it had the word cut instead of cute. It didn't have enough room, and it had something else here, so I just cut it and put it in here. So here's another image from Lindsey's kit. And these two images, this one and this one, go together. So I have some coffee dyed paper here, and I have folded these over. So I folded this paper in half. I attached it to this coffee dyed paper, and then I made this into a pocket. So you have a nice pocket right here with the butterfly, and here's the center of the signature. We have a pocket over here. Here's some more of those really fun, that really fun lace, and they just droopy drape over the side. And then we have this note card that I made using the I think this is printed at 3.5 by 5. One of her full sheets printed at 3.5 by 5. And then this is postage, a postcard, and it was purple, so I was like, okay, yeah, that can go in there. And some coffee dyed paper that was distressed. And here we have this index card that I've taken and added a couple of pieces of fun note paper, and then I just stitched it on. And then I stitched around here just for fun. We have a tuck spot here. There's a tuck spot in each signature. This one has a collaged material there on the edge. We have the, the other side of the wallpaper. We have one of the backs of a postcard, and this is from the Dear Julie Julie. I think this is also from the purple kit. And then we have this tag that I made. This was a note card that I had. This is a paper clip out of hearts. You can find that in the paperclip video down below. Here I just took the distress round thing and put it in the ink and then put it on here, and that gave me some polka dotted paper. We have this. This was in my stash, this paper from my dad. Here I just put a piece of lace. It's just draped through the hole. Some bling and the lavender stamp there. And you can see it through here, which I thought was really cool. And then I just added a tag to one of the holes. Stenciling. Here's our other pocket, large pocket from the big business envelope. And here we have this image, again, printed at 5x7, cut out, printed on cardstock. And I tied a bow here with the threads that were left over. I used one of the images from the kit as the tab. Okay, some more stenciling, another collaged edge. This is a sticker with a butterfly stamp. Here we have the other side of the lavender kernels, and I made a pocket here. We have a pocket on the back that has one of the ephemera journaling cards and a flinch card, number 29, from the Dear Julie kit, digital flinch cards, and that's just in there. You have the other side of the pocket, and this one is, the top is where you put your image in, and we've stamped on this. Some lined paper. Here's the other side of that pocket. We have some journaling paper. Oh, this is one of the pages from the kit. This is the one where I cut the word off. Some note paper and some index card. Some more note paper, stitching across the bottom to help hold this in. It was going to stay in once it was sewn, but it was like, I'm just going to stitch it because that'll help with the sewing, not to have things moving around. So you could glue it or sew it. So this is the rainy day. This is from the April Music file, digital kit from Dear Julie. And today it is raining, so we made a rainy day. Which, it's like my favorite. I like the bird in the tree too, but I really like the rainy day. And then I took one of the images from one of the note cards that and just sewed around. Added some of the ribbon here. Here is the large plain card paper clip. It is made on a butterfly clip. I did add this fluffy to it after I'd finished it, but this is in the video, the paperclip video down below. Here we have another image from Lindsey's kit. Just so you know, these pages, these are not from her kit. These are from my stash. It's one of those beautiful notebooks. You know, we find the little ones all the time with the tear pages, and sometimes I find the big ones. I get them at Ben Franklin usually in Ojai. And so here's another page from her kit, and that's the second signature. Here I took one of the hearts, so one of the hearts that I cut with my Cricut, and I laid it here, put the stencil on top of it, and I distressed it. Here's the cover page from the guest book, and I just stenciled on it at the edges of the word, stamped, and then I had this greenery on my desk, and I was like, that looks like lavender greenery, so I just added it. And when I stapled it here, I stapled some lace here, added this. Here's a thing about guests, and I just, you know, it's like, I like it. It's purple writing. It looks neat. Here's one of the bookmarks we made. Again, the lavender specimen. It's dried lavender that I got on Amazon, and packing tape. So that is in the bookmark video. Then we've got some stenciling, and here we've got stamping, and it's got lined paper, and this is the purple notepads that I got at Staples. oh my gosh, the beginning of the year. And they've come in handy. Here's the other side. So I take these books apart and cut this, and then I'm able to use it in the signature as just like a page. So there's this side and there's this side. Okay. So here's a sticker on the large scrapbook paper. It's more of the vintage. It might be like seam binding lace. And here we have a variety of note papers and cards. This is a double-sided, really pretty index card. Here is the wallet size of the page with treasured memories. And I went ahead and went around this with, yeah, I can remember. With my sewing machine. Boy, oh boy. Here is another ledger paper. This one has the pretty bird, and you remember you saw it as a 5x7 in one of the pockets. Again, I took this and I flipped it up and made a pocket here, and now we have this image from Lindsey's kit, and it has a French card attached to it for its tab, and there's a paper, another collaged tag. I ended up making this video like 3 times, so I ended up with extra tags. So here we have the clipboard paper again with some stenciling and some stamping. I love how you can just stencil a little bit and stamp. Find a really great stamp that matches and use it throughout. Here's another collage tag that I made, and then I added, this is a purple rose. I just added that on there. The ledger paper, here's another one of the images. This is from the ephemera part, one of the ephemera pages of Lindsey's kit. Here's another one of the paper clips that's in the paperclip video. We have a little flip. That was the last piece of the material that I used on that, and then I also had used it on the mini album, so you might recognize I'm trying to use things up. And oh my gosh, and this lavender washi tape, I had gotten it at Michael's. I wish I'd have I wish I had bought another as well. I love it. This right here, this is from the rescued wedding dress. And then we have another one of the wallet size images, and another one of the paper clips, and just a little specimen of a lavender on a card, some stamping. Here I've added some more of that, the awesome lace, and then here I just added, there was a little tiny piece of the purple, the dark purple lace left, and so I just tied it on there, and I tied some of the fluffy. And oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is actually lilacs, but isn't it gorgeous? And then it has the lace behind it. This is one of Lindsey's pages for her kit. Here's the doily. I did one of these large doilies in the front and the back, and then I did the square scrapbook paper in the center signature. We have this note paper. This was from that big block book or something like that from the Dollar Tree. And then here I took one of this is what I used in the front of the second signature. So I took it and I just sewed around it, and I sewed around the outside, and it's got such a really cool feel to it. More stenciling and stamping, more stenciling, or actually that stamp came through, which I was fine with that because it's actually really kind of cool. We have the polka dots here, and then some more note paper. This beautiful parchment paper. And this is a piece of the ledger paper. Here is one of the paper clips from the paperclip video. We've tied through the the clipboard paper. So there, that would be where it would go into the clipboard. And then I took one of the edge pieces and I put it here, and that gave us a really strong edge. Okay, some more stamping on coffee dyed paper. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the center of the signature. I love this page. Love, love. I love the color. It's like awesome. So this one, for its, it comes over and it's coffee dyed paper here. The whole 11 inches is used here. It comes over and it's a pocket. And we can add something there. And then I made, this is also from the kit. It's one of the 4 journaling cards like this. And I did my circle thing with the sewing machine and added the butterfly. Love it. Okay, so here's this is the back side. You can see where the coffee dyed paper is, okay, this one is different. Okay, so that's one piece. This coffee dyed paper is on this paper here, and it's just at a line. Anyway, you'll see that in the how I did the papers. Here's the other belly band, and now I realize they're upside down, or maybe they were supposed to be some other kind of pocket or something. I'm not positive, but I like them. And they're in here, and they have a little bit of note paper behind them. Here's one of the hearts and some of the Were I a Violet music. I like the way the stair steps happened all through this journal. I just love it. Here's some of that washi tape, some of the lavender washi tape. Here's another page from Lindsey's kit. This is the one with the perfume bottle label, and I took the whole perfume bottle label and folded it. So we have this full page, then we turn and we've got something that's interesting on this page just by folding it. And I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I got the whole thing. I didn't fold it here and get half. I folded it here, and I'm loving it. Okay, so this is kind of a funny one. It says it was a sticker that I had that was purple. And some other note cards, including some of the polka dot children's writing paper and a butterfly added to this doily. Some more, here's a giant collage tag, and it was on the packaging. I was having fun. And then this is I think this is the 4th card from the kit. And this was Franken paper. I made Franken paper. I did it on the packaging of something. We've got the bird in the tree, or the bird on the tree music. And the bird on the tree, I think, is... Oh, I think that's in the October, or is it in, it's in Spring Blossoms maybe? So here's the All About in, so this purple paper from the other side came over, we made a pocket, and then we also have purple address book pages. And we have the ledger, opens up, and some coffee dyed paper, stenciled and stamped. Here, this is a large pocket again, so we had the 11 by 17 and we folded it up. We got this giant pocket, filled it with some note papers. We have this coin envelope. I've made it into a paper clip. It has a tag, just a blank tag inside of it. Here's the other envelope from Lindsey's kit, and again I have left it so that you can write in it, or you can close it up, and it's held on with this, with that. Here's this is a page of that beautiful note paper, but I sewed it onto this ledger paper here. So this ledger paper has the other a tab out of the material from the binding. We have some more of that lace and some stenciling. Here's a little pocket from some copy paper. Here's the other little tiny tag. We have a tag here and a couple other note papers. We have another bookmark and a paper clip. And this bookmark has this tassel attached to the bookmark. Turn the page and we have the rainy day again, because it was a rainy day yesterday as well. And then the Eiffel Tower, this rainy day has a few purple note papers on the back of it. Over here we have another one of those tucks. So that's what the stitching is here. I did stitch in purple because, you know, I thought it was kind of cool, and it adds another element of texture to the journal. Here we have, I just took one of the note papers, and I put the peacock note paper and this friendship sentiment that I had in my stash, and added this card here. So those go, and then added a butterfly. So the butterflies are just randomly placed throughout. And then we have, this is part of the ephemera for the kit. And we have a tuck spot here. Here's the other side of the notebook paper. And we have another one of a piece of the ephemera. And this is stationery that I had in my stash, and you see it matches the envelope that we used in the first signature, so thought that was kind of cool. We have this purple lined paper and our last page that matches the guest book, and it's got the purple with the stamped, and then I added the ribbon to the outside. And so that is the back of the journal. And I did, the closure I did here, again, is with the seam binding and eyelets. And my crocodile had no trouble cutting through that. And so that is Lavender and Lace. And it'll be available. We'll see if it gets to be available in the Etsy shop. It's going with me to an event tomorrow. That's why I've done all this purple stuff. People wanted purple stuff, so I'm taking it to the event and to show the local people what it is that I do. So I hope you enjoyed Lavender and Lace. I absolutely love this kit, Lindsey. It is so beautiful, and it just really made this book beautiful. I think it made it beautiful. I think it's awesome to have something this size. I would do this again. I'm actually going to be looking for books and things that are this size, because it would give you room for pictures and writing. Because, you know, at heart, I am a scrapbooker. I like to memory keep. But I also love to journal. So, you know, and I love to smell the lavender. All of Lindsey's information will be in the description box down below, along with the videos of all of the items that I said I had made recently. Find something to celebrate every day. What was your favorite? And what do you think? Oh, it is also going to get a tassel, but you don't get to see that yet because that's coming up. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Have an amazing day. Bye.